in the embodiment, the body, and mindness. So, I am going to kill Bhishma, Drona, etc. They are going to be killed by me. They are my guru, they are my uncle, they use and all this mindness. This is, and Lord Krishna thinks only remedy for this is Atmajnana. Arjuna should be made to discover the Swarupa. That is why Bhashikara says, Atmajnana. Anyatra Atmajnana Uddharanam Apashyam. Without finding any means whatsoever other than the Atmajnana. So therefore, Krishna decides to teach him what is his Swarupa. First he says, Arjuna, your sorrow is untenable. There is no room for sorrow, think of it. You can imagine what is Arjuna's life, and Arjuna, Krishna says, there is no room for sorrow. So let us see, take the stanza. Tvam ashocham anvashochaha. Tvam ashocham anvashochaha. Prajnavadam cha bhashate. Prajnavadam cha bhashate. Panditaha gatasu agatasu cha na anushocanti. Panditaha gatasu agatasu cha na shocanti. First, we will see the general meaning of this verse, then we will enter into the bhashya of this verse. Lord Krishna addresses Arjuna, from Arjuna, you are what? Ashocham anvashochaha. Anvashochaha. You have grieved, you are sorrowful, Ashocham, about whom? Ashocham. Who are Ashocham? Those who do not deserve to be grieved for. For whom you are mourning? Mainly Bhishma Drona, Guru, Pitamaha, grandfather, and Guru. Then comes all who kiss and kiss. So you are doing, and I am going to kiss the person whom I have to adore. I have to kill. I am going to kill them, which is great adharmic act according to Arjuna. Actually, this is not killing. This is the battle for dharma, establishment of dharma. Arjuna is not killing them just like that for something. Duryodhana has crossed the limit of adharma, and only remedy is for capital punishment to you. It is not he is fighting for that, it is for the sake of dharma, and when who Arjuna, Dharmaraja is the actual king. Duryodhana has usurped the kingdom. So the establishment of dharma is the king's duty. It is the duty of who? Dharmaraja. And being the brother on whom he can rely upon is the duty of who? Arjuna also. It is not personalistic at all. In fact, once Satya Sai Baba asked, some audience was there, a private audience was there. So he asked, is there anyone who is from army here? So there was a major general. He asked, have you killed anyone in the war? He said, yes. In the Pakistan war I have killed. Why did you kill? If I don't kill him, he will kill me. If I don't kill him, he will kill me. He said, that is not the correct aspect. I have killed him for my nation. You have no personal enmity with that person. You are fighting for who? For nation, for India you are fighting. I say it should be the correct answer must be, I killed him for my nation. Because Pakistan is doing something wrong, our nation is going to punish them. I killed that way. So here, Arjuna is not personally killing one. He is killing for the sake of dharma. So duty demands that he has to fight the war. All other means were tried and they failed. See, the means to avoid the war was tried. Krishna himself went as an envoy and it didn't succeed. The final remedy was danda, that means punishment. So that was, it is not personal fight or anything as such. So, but Arjuna had this notion. He had this notion. So now he says, now they are ashokya. Shochitum na arham. They are not worthy to be grieved for by you. Why? Two questions come. Arjuna, are you mourning, grieving over Bhishma, Drona, etc. as persons? See, everyone has got two facets. One as the individual person, other as the Nitya Swarupa. What is that we are going to come? That is the subject matter of Bhagavad Gita. Our true nature. Are you grieving over them on account of the person, Bhishma, Drona? There is no reason to grieve. Do you know why? They are great dharma. Bhishma, Drona are what? Great dharma. After death, they are going to have the good law. You can grieve over Duryodhana. Do you know why? A dharmic person, and after the death, he has to pay for it. What bad lot he is going to get, you can grieve over him, but not Bhishma, because they have nothing to worry. They have got a good lot. Are you grieving over them? As per their true nature, it is Nitya. There is no destruction for them. There is no room for grieving. So therefore, Ashotyam is those who do not deserve to be grieved. Ashotyam. You have grieved for. That is fine. I can take it. So you are alluding, you don't know what it is all about, but you are talking wisdom also. Prajnavadansya bhashate. You are quoting so many things from Shastra. Say, Adharma, Varna Sankara, and all those things you are saying. Prajnavadam means you are giving that you have already given a big sermon on Dharma Shastra, as if you know the truth. You forgot who you are talking. Arjuna talking about Dharma to who? Krishna. So you forgot who you are talking. So but you Prajnavada means words of great wisdom you are saying. What does it mean? Means you are a fool. You are a fool. You are talking great things. At the same time, you are mourning for Bhishma, Drona. You are a fool. So that is the last day. Why so? The reason it is Panditaha. Panditaha means not scholars. Panda, the one who has got Panda. Again, this word again, Panda. Panda means your mind goes to Gaya, Prayag, Badrinath, Kedarnath. These priests who pester you. So they are not. Actually, Panda means Atma Jnana, Brahma Jnana. See how the words are got corrupted. Panda means Atma Jnana, Brahma Jnana. The one who has got Panda is Pandita. One who has got Panda means those who have got Atma Jnana or Brahma Jnana, so they Gatasu, Agatasu, Channa, they don't grieve over the person who is Gatasu. Asu means prana. Those whose prana have gone into one leg. Asu means prana, vital life. So that means what? Prana leaves the body. Those who have left the prana means who are dead. Now look at it. Agatasu, no gatasu. Those whose pranas have not left, those who are alive, they don't breathe at all. Pandita. But this word Pandita nowadays is still further corrupt. Nowadays Pandit is called a cook, also is Pandit. Maharashtra. In Maharashtra, a cook is called Pandit, like Gujarat Maharaj. A Mahatma is called Maharaj and cook also. Cook also is called Maharaj. In Maharashtra, Pandit is this. Cook is also called Pandit. Anyway, so that's Pandita, Pandita. So this is what is there. Why there is no reason for grief? Second stanza is going to elaborate. First, he introduced the answer. Arjuna, you are grieving over the thing which doesn't deserve to be grieved for at all. Why? Two stands. Person or true nature of nature. Both standpoints there is no. How person, as a person, I need not grieve for the reason is no. As Nitya nature, how do you know? Second stanza is going to answer. Take the last question. Now see, Bhashya style, commentary style. Commentary sentences will not be complete. They may appear as broken sentences. They are not full sentences. It is not true. There may be full sentences, but what the commentary does? It picks up the word from the original word and gives the meaning. If wherever necessary, in full sentences, it gives the gist. So that's why, if you know this concept, the lines may appear to be broken lines. They are not broken. It's a word meaning, then combined meaning, entire meaning, depending on what Bhashyakara finds is necessary. First now, Ashocyaha word is defined. Who are Ashocyaha? Na Shocyaha Ashocyaha. Those who do not deserve to be grieved. There is no reason why you should grieve over them. Who are they? Bhishma Dronadaya Bhashya. Bhishma Dronadaya. Bhishma Dronadaya. The question comes, are you lamenting over the death of Bhishma Drona, as we have already seen? Is it on account of as a person or from their true nature? If you lament on them as a person, ayo, poor people, they are going to get dead now, so they are going to die now. If you say so, sadhurastha yuttattva. Answer, Bhashya. See, when you study Bhashya, you should develop a knack. Bhashya word, what is teaching? Bhashya word, what is teaching? The question was, why are you grieving? Is this as a person or true nature? Answer. If you are saying Bhashya says, Sadhuru Sattva, the conduct is good dharma. There is no reason for grieving over them, because if they were adharmic, then what would happen? They would have gone to hell at that time. You can sympathize in a pity. Ayo, poor people are going to have hell. No, sadhurastha. Sadhurastha means good conduct, as per the dharma, sadhurastha. Again, no. From the standpoint of the true nature, answer is परमार्थ स्वरूपेण च नित्यत्वात्. Paramatma Swarupa is Nityatma. As I, Atma, they are what Nitya. How Paramatma Swarupa is Nitya? Lord Krishna himself is going to elaborate at length. Up to 21, 22 skanda, it will go up. So step by step he is going to establish how Bhishma Drona, from their Swarupa standpoint, Atma standpoint, are Nitya. So that will be described afterwards. Now first here just point Paramatma Nityatma. So that means they are Ashokyanava. As a person you did not be sorrowful about them. From the true nature standpoint also they are Nitya, you did not be. And what did you do? Anvashochaha. You grieve for them. Continue. Those people who do not deserve to be grieved, what did you do? Anvashochaha. Anvashochaha means Anushochitavanati. We are grieved for. How did we are grieved? Bhashyakara is demonstrating. Te briyante mandinistam. Bhishma Drona are going to die on account of who? Me, mandinistam. Aham tairvina bhutaha kim karishyami rajasukhalina. Without Bhishma, Drona, etc. What am I going to do with the Rajya, kingdom, Sukha? This is what all here Arjuna says. Sukha Adi. Adi for here, the worldly enjoyment, wife, children, etc. etc. If they are not there, adorable person of them, what am I going to go do with the comfort in life, kingdom or comfort in life? Adina, iti. One aspect. You grieve over those who do not deserve to be grieved. But that is not the end of it. On the other side, what are you doing? You are talking words of wisdom. Let us know.
Prajnavatam, buddhimatam, vadasya, vatanani cha, rajate.
One, Arjuna, what are you doing? Prajnavada bhasate. What is Prajnavada? See? Prajnavatam vada. Who is Prajnavada? Good thing to say. First, Prajnavadam word is taken. Now its meaning is Prajnavatam vada. Who is Prajnavadam? Buddhimatam. Now you know, Buddhima. Buddhima means to wise person, intelligent person. One has got Buddhi. Dhanavan. Who is Dhanavan? One has got, but not simply Dhanavan. One has got 10 rupees in the pocket is not for Dhanavan. It should be plenty. Otherwise, every human has got a Buddhi. Whether that Buddhi operates or Buddhi, we don't know. So not that one is intelligent. So one is intelligent. So Buddhivan, Buddhimatam, Vada. Here Vada means Vachanani. You are speaking the words of wise people. Shastra you are quoting. So Shastra is not known to everyone. So you are talking in terms of the Shastra, and at the same time you are grieving over those who do not deserve to be grieved. They say, Arjuna Krishna says, that is implied Bhashyakara says. That means this is your foolishness. One side you are acting as a fool, other side you are behaving as who? A wise person. Foolishness plus wisdom equal to foolishness. Foolishness. Wisdom is not foolishness, wisdom. It's the foolishness of this. So if wisdom is the right of foolishness. So therefore he says, Arjuna, this is your condition. What is it?
Savetasmodhyam Pandityam cha Viruddham Atmani Darshayati Urmasta iva Iti Abhiprayah.
Savetas, this is what you are showing, revealing. Maudhyam Pandityam cha. Maudhyam is Mula Bhava. Status of being a fool. You are revealing you as a fool, at the same time, Pandityam. You are presenting yourself as a great scholar, a wise person. The Viruddham, these are both contradictory to each other. Atmani Darshayati. You are showing this, revealing this in yourself, one and the same person, foolishness and wisdom both. Darshayati. Therefore, what you are behaving, this is the sum and substance of your behavior. Unmattaha eva iti abhipraya. You know who is unmattaha? Mad person. Foolish person. You are behaving like a mad person. On one side you are behaving foolishly, other side you are talking words of wisdom. Unmattaha. You are like a Krishna has got a right. A right to follow others. If anyone else would have his toes, head will not be over the shoulder. Head will not be over the shoulder. Who is Arjuna? Not Arjuna. But as Krishna also knows, Arjuna is not in a condition to be candid. And they are friends. They are friends. Arjuna was a great, Arjuna Krishna was fast friends. See, if Dharmaraja were to meet Krishna, suppose Dharmaraja came to Krishna's palace to meet him, he has to send the orderly, please tell that I have come. And when he gives the permission, he has to wait at the door until Krishna says, please come. Arjuna created he can bath in the Antapura. That much of friendship was there. So this Arjuna friendship. So that he has got a right to tell him that you are a fool. What was it? He has to be made to discover that he is a fool. Otherwise, teaching will not work. He has to be made to discover that what he is doing is wrong. What he is doing is wrong. Then what the teaching will work. So why so? The reasoning is Lord Krishna gives the reason. The problem. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Datasu Datapuranan Bhutan Ardatatu Jivatasya Namashotanti Padmitaha Atmatnaha.
Yes, ma'am. Why the reason that Arjuna behaved like a Udmatta fool? Reason is this. Yes, ma'am, because of this reason. Gatasu from the word, its meaning is given Gata Prana. Those pranas have departed. Who are those whose pranas are departed? Further meaning, Mrita. Dead. So Gatasu means those asu prana have departed. Who are those whose asu prana have departed? Mrita. That is the style of Bhashya. Mrita. So who are asu means about the dead and the living wise people don't grieve, that is what is going to be told. Agata means what? Agata prana. No gata prana. Those whose prana have not departed from the physical body. Means who are those jivatasya, those who are living. Jivatasya. Pandita, no shochanti, no shochanti. They don't grieve. Who? Pandita. Who are those pandita? Atmajnana. Those who are Atmajnani do not grieve over the dead and those who are alive. So how this Pandita word means Atmajnana is derived?
आत्मविषया बुद्धिः येषां ते हि पंडिताः
Panda means Atmavishaya Buddhi. Buddhi means knowledge. In Sanskrit, Buddhi means intellect. Buddhi means knowledge. Buddhi means also the means by which knowledge can be gained. So that's different meanings of that. Here, Buddhi means the knowledge. Atmavishaya Buddhi means Atmajnana. Eka, those who have got Atmajnana, Panda, are called as Pandita. From where did you get this meaning? Shankaracharya can be asked. He says, this is so in Brihadaranyaka he quotes.
पाण्डित्यं निर्विद्य इति श्रुतैः
Brihadaranyaka says, Pandityam nirvidya, having accomplished the Atmajnana. So Panditya word is there, not scholastically. Panditya word is used for Atmajnana. Upanishad speak of it, and therefore what? Panditya, Panda means Atmajnana. This is the Pandita. This is the now Bhashyakara gives the gist of this verse.
परमार्थतः तु तान्त्रिक्यान् अशोचान् अवशोचति अतः मूढः अस्ति इति अभिप्रायः.
Iti abhipraya, this is the purpose, this is the gist of first 11 shloka. Paramarthataha too, from the standpoint of absolute reality, final reality, Tam means Bhishma Dronadi, Nityam, who always exist. How they always exist is saying the next verse onwards. But Lord Krishna himself is going to explain. So for the time being, take it for granted. Bhishma Dronadi. Bhishma Dronadi means not that only Bhishma Dronadi Nitya. You and me also are Nitya. But what is that you and what is that me has to be properly understood. That is, Paramarthataha, from the absolute standpoint, says, Tam, Bhishma Dronadi, Nityam. They are Nitya. There was no room for grieving over them. Ashotyam, and therefore they do not deserve to be grieved. What did you do? Manushochati. You have grieved for them. Therefore, ataha, therefore, Mudha ati iti abhipraya. Arjuna, you are not wise, you are a fool. The question Arjuna asked, how come? But war has not started. Once the war is, Bhishma Drona starts the war, fighting, we are not going to keep quiet, and once this starts, it will be a war. Many are going to get killed, and finally I have to fight in such a way that I am going to kill Bhishma and Drona. Do or die. There is no question of returning from the battlefield. So therefore, how do you say that they are not going to die? battle is imminent, and both parties are not ordinary. Arjuna also was not ordinary. Arjuna had a weapon which none of the even Bhishma didn't have. Pashupatastra. Pashupatastra is the highest, that is what, missile. The Kaurava side, including Bhishma, nobody had. Only one drawback was that Arjuna cannot use Pashupatastra against Kaurava unless his life is in danger. See, this missile cannot be used arbitrarily. There are certain rules. Pashupatastra can be used against Rakshasa. It should not be used against a human being unless the warrior's life is in danger. As a final resort, if Arjuna is going to die, he can use the Pashupatastra. Otherwise, it cannot be. Because lot of adverse effect to the other humanity is there. You know, Brahmastra. Brahmastra, it should not be used just like that. Because once used, 12 years to drop. 12 years drop. So this is what happened when Ashwatthama shot the Brahmastra at the fetus of Abhimanyu. Not Abhimanyu, Parikshit. You know who is Parikshit? Arjuna's grandson, Abhimanyu's son. Uttara is the mother. She was carrying it. Ashwatthama was so wretched. Even after the Mahabharata war was over, he wanted to make this clan totally wiped out. Because he is the only one heir that was there, Guru Parikshit. He shot the Brahmastra at who? Abhimanyu's son, Parikshit. It is not correct. It is not correct. Arjuna had no other goal than to shoot Brahmastra. But he was stopped. He said no, because he has to do it. But that Brahmastra had already done the damage. It has already target. So then, Ashwatthama was asked to withdraw it. He said, I know how to shoot, I don't know how to withdraw. Desires were on Mantra Shastra. He knew the mantra to shoot it, he didn't know the mantra to withdraw it. Arjuna knew how to withdraw it. So, that is how it is. So that is once it happened between Bhishma and Parashurama. Two missiles, two Brahmastra flashing. Bhishma, Narada, etc. told, saying, withdraw them, people will suffer. Said, it is going to kill me. Then Narada tells Bhishma, anyway, you withdraw. So he withdrew. And then he tells, because I respect you, withdraw. Then he tells Parashurama, don't do this, withdraw it. So they flashing into like it is like atom bomb. So that's like more dangerous than the atom bomb. It destroys the entire ecology. So that is how it works. So now, so that is the case. So it is not Arjuna, you are giving over those things who do not deserve to be. They are nityaha. How they are nityaha? It is not that only Bhishma Drona nitya. Every jiva is nitya. That is what Bhagavad Gita makes us discover. How our Swarupa is nitya, if that is discovered directly, problem of samsara gets solved totally with the root cause.
कुतः ते असौख्याः
is introduced. Why Arjuna was called fool? Arjuna, we agreed over those things, those who do not deserve to be given. How Ashokya? How do you say they are Ashokya? Answer has to be given by who? Lord Krishna. Utaha Ashote Ashokya. Te means who? Bhishma Dronadaya. Utaha Ashokya. How are they not to be grieved for? Answer is given. Yataha, because they are Nitya. They are not dead. How they are not dead, you see. This is a teaching. Going step by step, the teaching is going to show how they are no dead, how we have no dead. Seems very strange. Have you noticed? Body has death, but our Swarupa doesn't have that. We'll see now step by step. The answer is Yataha Nitya, because Bhishma Drona are Nitya. Katham, how is this so, sir, that Bhishma Drona are Nitya? Katham Nitya? Natu iti. Answer is given by who? Lord Krishna. Take the stanza.
Nasvevaham jatanatam.
Nasvevaham jatanatam.
Nasvam me janadivaha.
Nasvam me janadivaha.
Nasaiva na bhavishyamaha.
Nasaiva na bhavishyamaha.
Sarve vayamata param.
Sarve vayamata param.
This Antvaya needs lot of adhyara. It is like this. Aham yatu na akam. This sitting of Sandhi, natu eva aham yatu na akam. Na tvam na ime janadhipaha na cha eva na bhavishyamaha sarve vayam ataha param. This is the speaking of the words of the verse. Now third order is like this, with few words supplementary in between. Aham jatu na asam, add iti, continue to na eva. Aham jatu na asam, iti to be added to na eva. Tvam jatu na, add asihi iti. Tvam jatu na, add asihi iti, continue na eva. Ime janadhipaha na, add asan iti. Ime janadhipaha na, add asan iti, continue na eva. Cha vayam sarve ataha param bhavishyamaha. Cha vayam sarve ataha param na bhavishyamaha, add iti, continue na eva. Many words have to be taken repeated here. Please see. Arjuna, it is like this. Na jatu means never. Jatu means ever. Na jatu means never. Aham jatu na asam, it is na eva. There are two double negatives. It is not that I was never. I was never means never I did exist. It is not so. It is not so means what? I did exist forever. It is not that double negative. It is not that I was never means I was always there. Today, Arjuna, Who says this? Krishna. Krishna, there was never not a time when I was not there. We all will, Arjuna will not there. I, Krishna, Bhagavan Krishna, something special. Krishna, maybe Krishna was always there. Because Paramatma, maybe there. No. Tvam jatu na ati iti na eva. You are never there, so it is not. For Hindu, Arjuna is surprised. About me also. There was no time when you were also not there. Means you also were existing for ever. Arjuna knows his birthday. And how long is continuing? Krishna only was not in, because war. So do war, die. And Krishna says, you were never there, such a thing is not there at all. Means you are ever there. Again, what about the warrior? Yes, about of both sides. They say, Ime Janadhipaha. Ime Janadhipaha na asam. Were not there these kings, the kings and the soldiers that are there. Janadhipaha means kings, including all the soldiers of the both armies. Were not there, it is naive. It's not so. Means they also were there, are there forever. Okay, fine. Means we were there forever in the past, but now, hereafter, we are not going to be there because what is going on? We are not going to be there. Krishna made the exception. Even Avatar is not exception. Having wielded the body, that body has to be cast off, whether an ordinary jiva or avatar. How it is cast off is left to avatar, but it has to be cast off. It cannot be there permanently. Otherwise, we would have had a colony of avatars. After that, they can be here to go and sit. So, the colonies of avatars. And also, Vayam Sarve, all of us, Ataha Param, henceforth, hereafter, Na Bhavishama, we are not going to die, we are going to die. It is Naeva, not so. In short, Arjuna, me Krishna, you Arjuna, all the kings and the warriors were in the past, are now in the present, are going to be there ever in future. We were in the past forever, we are now presently, we are going to be there in the past. How are we going to assimilate this? Krishna has said that is true. Are we going to accept this? Come on, tell me, who is me? What do we take as I? It is clear, we take the body as I. If we take the body as I, will this statement apply? Body was born, therefore, before birth, I was not there. Presently, body is continuing, I am there. Body is bound to die. After that, I am not there. What does this mean? One thing is clear. Our supposition is wrong. If Krishna's statement has to hold good, Either Krishna must be wrong or we must be wrong. If me is the body, body is born before the birth, is not there. This body. Now it continues. After that, it is not going to be, it is going to be disposed. Krishna says, before we were, now we are, forever we are going to be there. So now who is right? Whom you will give the benefit of doubt? To you. I think we can give to Krishna. We are always fighting. And he is avatar. Arjuna knew who Krishna was. Because that bird, that example. Arjuna had full trust in Krishna because he knew he is avatar. The further reality came to the when he was Shota Vishwarupa Darshana. That is it. So Krishna, I told this. Arjuna and Krishna, just before the Mahabharata war, Krishna and Arjuna were going for a stroll in the evening. Krishna said, "Hey Arjuna, see that peacock, how beautiful." Yes, Arjuna said. Next moment, Krishna said, "Hey Arjuna, it is not a peacock, it is a swan." Yes, Arjuna, Krishna said. Next moment said, "It is not a swan, it is a crow." Yes, it is a crow. Krishna fired Arjuna. Are you your senses? I am calling it peacock, you are nodding your head. I call it swan, you nod your head. And I call now crow. Krishna, I know if I object, you will make one. If I object, you will make one there. If I say it's not true, you will show me that it is true. So that's my confidence. Arjuna had in whom? Krishna. Yes, Krishna. So that's why we can, again, his avatar, therefore, we can give benefit to begin with. We are not going to accept as it is. We can give a benefit of doubt to whom? Krishna. Subject to verification, not following. I am not asking you to follow. Subject to verification, let us give benefit of doubt to whom? We have to investigate. How are we going to investigate? What is our subject matter investigation? I. Do you say I? How many times a day do you say I? I. Not you, I. Me, I. What is it? Our concept is body. Lord Krishna's concept is not the body. First, let us find out whether the body can be I. How do you refer to your body? My body or I body? I am, you may say, but you refer to the body as what? My body. As a simple sentence, what does this indicate? Possessive case. I am someone who is owning up the body. My watch. You are different. Watch is different. My shoes. You are different. Shoes are different. My car. You are different. Shoes are different. My book. You are different. Book is different. When you say my body, you are different and yes or no. At least that much is enough to create confusion. To show you there is something basically wrong with your notion. We don't know who am I, but we cannot be body because we refer, and not you only, universal. Even a dog, it may not be able to spell out it takes the body as well. Suppose a bullet, you are holding finger, a bullet went through the middle of the finger. Right? According to us, I don't exist beyond the periphery of the body. But this notion is wrong. Why? Body is taken as a. We have to ascertain what is this I is. What are you doing now? Listening to it. Look at here. Look here. What is it? Microphone. What are you doing? See. Huh? Earlier you were hearing. What were you hearing? Whatever I speak. The speech. What were you seeing? Microphone. You are sitting on a chair or a carpet. Do you feel the chair or the carpet? Touch is there or not? You have got a sense of touch. Suppose in the morning, downstairs in the temple, agarbatti service, and the fragrance is coming in. Or somewhere here it is this letter. You are smelling the fragrance. Again, what happened? You felt cut. Something was there. And you put it in the mouth. It was salty. You are tasting or not? Huh? Come and tell me. Sound that you hear, the form of microphone that you see, the touch that you feel, so the fragrance that you smell, and the taste that you taste, are they one and the same? They are different or not? How are you aware of these? How do you perceive? To begin with, you are hearing through ear, seeing through eyes, maybe touching through sense of the skin, smelling through sense of smell, nose, tasting through sense of touch, sense of taste, tongue. Is it not? But these indriyas themselves are inert. They are inert. And again, they need the backing of the mind. You are perceiving with the indriyas added by the mind. Mind projects different types of thoughts. Thought of sound, thought of form, thought of touch, thought of smell, thought of taste. Thoughts are inert by themselves. What makes you aware of it? Some principle which makes you aware of all these. We don't know what that principle is. That principle is called Chit Chaitanya, awareness or pure awareness or pure consciousness. Just imagine a person alive and a dead. The dead person is not responding. Person is alive is responding. We say something is missing. What is missing? Sentience is missing. Earlier, so long as you are alive, you are Sachetana sentient. Now, that factor is missing. He has become inert. What is that principle which makes the body Sachetana sentient? That is what is called as Atma. It is a knowledge principle. Chaitanya Tattva, pure awareness principle, that is imbued in our body, in and through, all over. That is why even if you prick even at remote corner of your body with a pin, you feel it. Suppose a dead body, postmortem is being done, it is cut, nothing happens. So that means that Chaitanya, pure awareness principle, again, that is called as Atma, also called Brahma, is the principle which is in and through our embodiment, which everyone's embodiment makes the embodiment function. Just as electricity. One principle electricity, but makes all electrical gadgets function. Like that, this tattva, this is Chaitanya tattva, pure principle, was in the past, is now, shall ever be. It has no birth, no death, no destruction. That is real I. We see further of that by seeing our own different states. We were as a child, as a boy, as a girl, as a youth, as a middle-aged person, as an old person. That is different states of consciousness, waking state, dream state, deep state, different states, happy, sorrowful, shocked, all these things, food, all these different states, etc. How one principle abides in all that, that is the principle which is I, that is who Lord Krishna is referring. If you know that directly, you have no sorrow to discover yourself in the thing but Ananda. So God will see next time.
Oh